in this game, sometimes you meet show friends and then you'll get off the show and then y'all were really tight on the show, but now y'all don't really talk outside. So that happens often in the game. So sometimes you're never sure what it's going to turn into.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV. Now, let the buzz begin.
Back again with another episode of MTV's The Challenge Weekly. I got a challenge champ in the building, guys. We got Mr. Nehemiah Clark. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. It's going good. Long time no talk.
I think like the last time we talked was like back in like 2020, I think, or 2021. So been a good minute.
It has. Was it before All Stars or after?
Oh, did I talk to you during All Stars? I can't. Oh, wait, I did talk to you during All Stars. So it's been a long time, but it hasn't been long.
Right. Okay, I forgot about that. Yeah. So we did All Stars. So
nice.
now we're back. We're back.
We're back, baby. We're back. And so you're now back finally on the flagship of the challenge. And I remember the very first time I talked to you, this was before you did All Stars. I was asking, like, when are you going to be back on the challenge? And so now you're finally back. What's it like to be back on the flagship, to be back on one of the shows that started it all for you?
It's crazy. It's surreal. It's like there's obviously no shade to All Stars, but you feel like you go from you get called out of retirement to the minor leagues, and then you get moved up to the big leagues. And it feels like the majors when you're in there. It's intense. No one's missing workouts. Everyone's studying puzzles and math all day. They don't turn the game off. So it's a different game. And it's different than when I played years ago.
Yeah, and that's so interesting that you mentioned that, because I've always wondered, like, because I've seen All Stars and I watched the main challenge. Is it that big of a difference where it's just more intense on the main flagship than the All-Star seasons?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's way more intense. It's way more like it's like college versus the professionals, like for real. So in college, when it's off season, half of the people are gonna go home, they're gonna stop working out, they're gonna be with their family, their girlfriend, they're gonna start slagging off. Then they'll go back to college when it's time. But with the pros, you got people who never turn it off, and they're training even on the off season. And that's what it's like with these people. Like between the Twitter fights, between the beefs that happen, it's just never turned off.
Yeah, I can imagine. So you got this call to come back on the show. You hadn't been back in years. How did you mentally prepare yourself, just physically and emotionally? Because like you said, it's a whole different ball game.
I mean, I would just do stuff like sometimes I would just go stand and stare at prisons sometimes and just just like go to places that were similar to the conditions and the people I was about to be around. So I would just start to prepare like that. I mean, the challenge is such its own beast because it's really hard to prepare because they put you into situations that there are no regular life situations that you can train for. It's just a different type of mental beast. And you just really have to try to stay strong at best. Like you'll find things along the way that you can do while you're there, but leading up to it, it's really not much that you can really do to prepare for that.
You go into the house, you see old friends, you see new friends. Was there anyone in that house that just surprised you like no other? And that can just be in general, all around, physically, a good person. Like, was there someone that just was like, wow, this person is actually, I had no idea they were like this?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say a few people, but their time was cut short only because of how intense the game was. But I would say that Corey's one of them. I think that me and him really started to like hit it off and develop a friendship during this situation. And I think like in this game, sometimes you meet show friends and then you'll get off the show and then y'all were really tight on the show, but now y'all don't really talk outside. So that happens often in the game. So sometimes you're never sure what it's going to turn into. But this one turned like we still text. I text him today, told him how he got played on the last episode. You know what I mean? Like told him how Josh got his ass. So it's like we still talk.
It's so funny you mentioned that because I was gonna ask you who would be your ride or dies if they ever did like another ride or die season. And I love the just the friendship that you and Corey have. And this is why people love this show because they love the interaction between, all of these different castmates who have like never met each other. Then they finally meet and they get to see like how they interact. So I'm assuming if I would have asked you that question, who would be your ride or die? Would it be Corey and then Naya? Because another friendship that like I love seeing on the challenge.
Yeah, Nye is definitely my ride or die because we were number ones before even going there. Corey and I met at a party or two before, but and lived in LA, but never really kicked it. So it wasn't our first time meeting, but it was really our first time interacting with each other. So he didn't start off as my number one. He became my number one as the game progressed. So like some people, Naya didn't start out as my number one either on All Stars 3. Like so Jordan was her number one. So it's like you said, we start to see these relationships develop, and on paper, there's some people who you would assume you're gonna be tight with, but then when you meet them, you're not. Like there's just something off. And then people who you don't expect to be cool with, you end up being lifelong friends. So I think for us, it's the same. We always are surprised by the interactions also.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And so, there are a lot of this is season 40, the big hitters are on this season. Who was someone that was just an all-out beast on the show that you were just like you had no idea they were like that?
Man, I think, when you are also a fan of the show, you've kind of watched these people. So when you get there, you already kind of know who to look out for. You know to look out for CT, to look out for Jordan,
Yeah.
to look out for Horacio. But I think to me, maybe even Theo, I was surprised just because of his size and just because of his athletic background. He's already placed. I think what he got second in War of the World. So to me, I think seeing him in real life, it was like, damn, I hope I don't gotta go against this motherfucker in a hall brawl or anything physical, not a reverse tug of war, nothing. So yeah, that's what it was like seeing him.
And you actually beat one of like the biggest challenge goats. So some call him a challenge god, CT. What was that like? Were you just like, I can't believe I just beat CT, or were you like, oh, I knew I had this?
Uh like in the great words of Nate Diaz, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? No, I think he really is on that list of, there's the challenge quotes, like the greatest of all times, but also the ones who still in fear like still instill fear in people. Like he's one of those players who's won, but it's still intimidating. Like no one wants to go against him in an elimination. Like there are a lot of champions who people will go against and feel like people will go against Derek. They will go against Bananas, like, but CT, like no one is ever saying, I'll just go and take CT out real quick and then come
Yeah.
back and then get my star. Like people don't take those chances. So I think it was a bit of awe and then also just full circle with him being the last person to send me home on my last flagship show. So it was just man, for me it was a beautiful moment. Like one of my challenge memories for sure.
I loved seeing that like no other man. And so now that you've beaten CT, who's someone that you haven't competed against, like a challenge beast that you have not competed against that you would love to go against in the sand?
Ooh, in the sand, nobody, man. Like I'm trying to
What?
stay out the sand, man. Look, that's the name of the game. The name of the game is not go in the sand. Look, and people are going to try to stand all talk all tough and be like, yeah, I want to go in the sand. Look, there's so many things that can go wrong between you injuring yourself, between the way the game is. You do not want to go in the sand, but it's also besides winning, there's no feeling better than winning in the sand. So it's like that weird double like negative to where, yeah, you don't want to go in, but when you win, man, like you can't. That's it feels like winning the Super Bowl or something. It's just a very, very solid win. So, the only person right now I've got to compete against a lot of the greatest, but so, maybe a new person like Emmanuel
Okay.
or someone, maybe a new person since I've gotten to share the stage with a lot of the greatest to play this game.
Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. And I love that answer that you gave because I've always thought this also watching the show. Like you said, the name of the game is to win. You have a 50-50 chance of winning if you go out into the sand into elimination. So I 100% agree with you on that. But then again, like you said, if you do win, it's like this adrenaline, you make a name for yourself. But say you never go in, your bank account, you win, your bank account looks amazing. So
Your body feels amazing. You don't have any injuries. You get to go in fresh. We're all getting older now, so we
Mhm.
don't need all that extra healing time. If you do like a reverse tug of war or something with the shoulder straps, like or a pole wrestle or something, those injuries go. You still got to do a challenge the next day. They don't
Yeah.
care that you just had an elimination and you were fighting for your life. They'll start a final right after elimination. So to them, it does not matter. So, yeah, I'm not trying to go. I'm not trying to go in there. And I feel like if you're in the sand, 90% of the time it's because you're not in control of the game.
Hmm.
You know, unless you put yourself in there to get a skull or to do something like that, that means that you didn't have the votes or you lost. So like you don't want to be in that position. I'd rather win a challenge than win
Hey,
an elimination.
I'm with you on that, bro. I'm so with you on that. Um,
My
so
ego don't got no proving no more. I don't gotta prove nothing no more. I want the easiest final. Give me the easiest
I
final with the
respect the hell out of that,
cigarettes.
bro. Respect the hell out of that. And so you had like a good break from the flagship. Was there ever a time where you did get a call to come on the challenge, but you declined? And if not, was there a challenge that you saw that you were just like, man, like I could kill it on that season?
I think there was maybe one that I declined
Mhm.
after I got called to be an alternate a couple of times, and then the next one they called me to be an alternate, but I declined. I was doing a trip in Sri Lanka or something like that, so that was the last call that I gotten with them for a long time, and it's weird because we'll be in the interviews with all the different producers and they all ask the same question, like, how come you haven't done one of these in so long? It's like always the same question, and I don't think any of us really have an answer, you know.
Right, right.
We don't really have an answer. So and then what was the second part? What was the other part of the question?
If there was like from
Oh, a
throughout all
challenge that
this,
I wanted to do.
yeah, yeah.
Um Man, they started getting real intense, but I think maybe like it will look cold, but spies, lies, and allies,
Hmm.
or maybe like Arrivals 3 or something, somewhere where it was warm and easy, and
Nice,
the
nice.
money was big, but the final was easy.
Who would you want your rival to be?
Right now,
Yeah.
ooh, I've developed some really solid rivals, so I'd take any of them. I think
Yeah.
I think I developed a small rivalry with Derek K. So
Okay.
he a partner. I think people could potentially pull a rivalry out of me and Yes.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I remember that. Okay.
so he would be a good rival. So I'm just gonna keep on making rivals out of these strong players.
Man, you and Derek will be the team to beat, man.
We
That
would
would be crazy.
Me and Derek. Can you imagine me and Derek on like All Stars rival or something? Like we would just
Oh my gosh.
we win. I think we win.
So where do you see the challenge going? It's been this huge phenomenon. Like, did you ever see it becoming so big and like do you ever see it stopping?
Ooh, I think that if they wanted to keep it going, they could. I think that it is almost like one of those American staples, just like Survivor, just like Deal or No Deal, or something on that nature where it's big enough right now to have its own channel.
Mhm.
On some TVs, there's a whole challenge channel that just plays nothing but the challenge. So I think when you've gotten to that level, I think that America has spoken, like America has spoken. I think that this is something that can continue. I think that as long as they adjust with the times, then stay speaking to the young people, try to speak to the young and old people, which is tough, but I absolutely think it could keep going. And I see it getting, just more intense. I see the competition just getting a lot a lot stronger. So just like the NBA now, where it's like a three-pointer used to be something impressive, but now you have to be 5 to 10 feet beyond the three-pointer. So now it's like winning one elimination might be cool, but they might do something where you're doing three eliminations in one night. You got to beat three people in one night. It used to be cool to just, it was easy to beat one person. Now you got three. So I think it'd evolve to something crazy if they wanted it to.
Oh, I would be here for it. And this leads me to my next question. You're on season 40. Would you, if you got the call to be on season 41, 42, 43, and so on, do you have the challenge bug? Are you back?
I'm back, baby. I'm back. I got the bug. This is an easy time for me to do this in my life. I don't have kids. I don't have any attachments. So if there was ever a time for me to leave for long periods of time and go and jump off roofs and be in a house with single hot women, this would be the time in my life. I don't know if I want to do it when I have kids and stuff. I don't know if it's going to be part of my journey then, if that time ever comes. But right now, hell yeah, let's get it. I'm getting momentum. I haven't, like I feel like I'm competing with some of the best people who have done this game consistently for the last, you know, 10 to 12 shows, and I'm competing with some of the best. So I think I don't even think I've hit my prime yet.
Oh no, hands down.
Yeah, I haven't hit my prime.
Completely agree. Dude, you're
So
killing it, man. You're killing it. All the fans are loving to see you back. Like I've been hearing nothing but great things about this season because they're so happy to see like these OGs back,
yeah.
and like people like you just doing like amazing. So kudos to you, man. Good job.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a long journey.
Yeah, yeah. Well, any final words, Nehemiah, to your fans? Do you have anything that you're working on that you want people to know about, where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, and then on my Instagram is just the link tree, which is the easiest way to get all of my all of my links from my website. Right now, I have been doing a lot of DJing and producing. So a lot of people didn't know I've been a professional DJ and musician for the past 20 years. So it's been a long time. So I've been producing uh house, like healing house music with like sound bowls, sound baths, meditations and stuff. So all that is on the Instagram. I feel like the Instagram is the hub now. So just
Yeah.
go there and you'll get access to everything.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I've heard some of your stuff on your Insta stories. And I'm like, okay, Nehemiah's good. He's
Yeah.
got the talent.
Thank you, man. I've been doing it for such a long time. I've been doing it for a long time. So it's new to people who are seeing me or learning me for the first time. But I mean, if I could go in the archive and I'll bring up pictures from when I was playing with my band at the Troubadour like 9 to 10 years ago, playing at the Whiskey A Go Go, playing at the Roxy, doing shows with like De La Soul, like so I've been doing this for a long time,
Nice.
long time.
Now we just need one of your tracks to get played during an elimination round on the challenge. That'll be sick. Or
Well,
just like,
technically, we had one, Save the Palace.
no way.
That played on an episode.
What episode? Like this season 40?
No, no, no. It was on All Stars.
Oh, I have to watch it again.
Yeah,
What
it played on
episode?
one of I gotta look and see, but they played it on an episode. They played
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Hey, look
yeah.
at you, man. See, he already beating me to it.
Yes, yes. So yeah,
Manifested that, man. I love it. I love
getting
it.
close. Getting close.
Well, thank you, Nehemiah, for taking the time to talk to me. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Benny Adams. You can find me on all social media at Benny J Adams, and I'll see you guys next week.